Alright, bam. What's good, guys? We're back. Anywho, I just want to get straight into it. Took this trade on gold last night. Obviously, you guys know I only trade gold for this quarter at least. Did get stopped out. As you can see, this is the aftermath of it. I did not record once I got stopped out because it was late during London session. I was tired, so I went to sleep. But yeah, to be honest, I was actually debating whether or not I wanted to post this um trade, primarily because now that starting YouTube, I feel like there's almost like a pressure, to only post wins. And it's like it puts that stigma on it to where it's like you have to have a 100% win rate, when the reality is I'm trying to show the true reality of trading, that you don't win every trade. That's the truth of it. Um like someone in my Discord, he just said, and if you want to join the Discord, you could join. Links in the description. People have been asking about it. It's free. It's nothing crazy to it. But this guy, he just said, I asked him how his trading week was, and he's like, he had a horrible trading week, but he's good, and that's good. In my view, is good, but it's just the fact that the truth is about trading. You don't win every single trade, and I think I need to get past the fact of expecting every trade to be a win and expecting that when I post, every single trade is going to be over a 5-figure win. It's, but let's get into it. I want to recap this trade, trying to show the reality of trading, because trading is hard. Let's be real. Even me, yes, I'm profitable, but it's still difficult. So let's get straight into it. What, why, how, what we did right, what we could have done, or what we did right, what happened within the trade, what we could have done better. Because there's 100% a lot of things we could have done better. And I just want to get into it and recap it. So getting straight into it, if I go on weekly, let me unlock this. This was our bias. Bam. There you go. You can see right now gold is really down. But that was our bias. So, of course, sells. If you had seen the liquidity sweep video, episode 2 of the Printing Money series, we were rejecting off of this weekly fair value gap. Was I expecting to close like that? I'm going to be honest, yes, I was expecting to close to the upside, but price had other plans. So that was also a daily imbalance as well as the weekly fair value gap. But now when we scale down to lower time frames, the reason why I was playing buys to the upside, not only did we start rejecting off of the weekly fair value gap, but also we broke 4-hour structure to the upside. I'm sure maybe I should have been more cautious about this trade and possibly waited, because what I was looking for was now the retracement into the fair value gap. If you watched the 2K loss on gold the other day on my channel, you would have seen that something I need to work on are my trade entries, are waiting for those retracement tools before actually executing. Because typically when I enter, price chops for a moment, kind of almost stops me out, and then makes the overall move, hitting TP, whatever the case is. And note, right now our focus should not be about the money, instead about the consistency. Because remember, the money comes eventually. Trading is exponential in that sense of, once you master your skill set and you're really, 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 really good at it, then everything from there is exponential. Everything from there is growth. So we have to be able to sit there and build that consistency. And I'm saying this to you guys, and of course myself, that consistency is what matters so much. It doesn't matter if you could hit, a 1-6 risk to reward trade if you only do that once a month. You want to be able to go into the markets and have a set target for what you want to achieve for that week, and be able to achieve it anytime. That's the goal with trading. That's the goal, or that at least that's the goal with how we want our trades to be, that consistent to the point to where we can go into the markets and make money anytime like that. But going into it, price started rejecting off the 4-hour fair value gap on the 1-hour time frame, and this was where my entry was. So if I use my bar replay, let's go here. This is how price action, well, it's not actually accurate, but this is how price action looked within the moment. There are a few things I should have taken into precaution. we are not going to fill. If this was valid, we would have not filled 4 hour orders within a 1 minute time frame. Look at that. We tapped into it, immediately rejected. That is 100% something my market intuition should have kicked in and told me, yo, you're not going to fill orders that fast. It takes time to fill orders. Remember, when you retrace into these imbalances and whatever the case is, it takes time to fill orders. Even with this trade that I lost, this was a 4 hour imbalance. This was the 2K loss. We filled orders for 1, 2, 3. That's 12 hours. 3 4 hour candlesticks. We filled 4 hour orders in a 12 hour time frame, moving price back to the downside. So I should have been a little more wise with this trade and seen, okay, maybe something's up. With that being said, I was like, you know what? I like what I see. I was thinking we're bullish, so I executed on 5 minute break of structure somewhere here. It was like 5-15 minute. It was 15, and yeah, had my stops. So I delete that. Bam. Had my stop loss and my TP for around here. My actual TP I wanted was up here, but I like to see trade go into our desired price direction, then adjust TP from there, because SL typically stays the same. But apart from that, I mean, the rest is history. Bam, got stopped out. But that is what we did during the trade. What we did right, I will say this, was waiting for the retracement tool. Although it wasn't the proper retracement, that proper order fill and all that we would have liked to seen, we're starting to apply what we need to learn toward trading, right? I would say that's 100% something we did right. But now going into the things we did wrong, and the things I've been doing wrong recently within my trading that I've seen. Before this, if any of you watch my older videos, I was taking a swing trading approach, and that's on gold, and that's how I was killing the markets. That's how I was getting, funded with all these crazy accounts and all the stuff, getting my payouts. And I switched that when I started YouTube. I switched that to an intraday day trading strategy. Why? Because I did not want to have the stress of holding swing positions overnight, when typically I should really just set it and forget it. And that's something I've been doing wrong, and I've seen the effect within my trading. My trading win rate went from around a 75 in that area percent to around 50, which 50 is good, but to me, with what I was achieving and the risk reward I was hitting due to it being swing trading, I would sit there and be like, okay, what could I have done if I was still swing trading, right? So the approach I'm going to take over the weekend is I'm going to re-back test my swing trading approach, and I'm going to make sure that for Monday and for any of these other days, I'm approaching in my old swing trading strategy. Simply, if I can explain, my swing trading strategy is exactly what I'm doing right now, just entering with a valid 1 hour stop loss. That's it. AKA a larger stop loss. That's literally it, and playing the macro move, holding it. Instead of executing on 5 minute, I'm executing on 15 or 1 hour, and holding for 4 hour daily take profits, which to me, I prefer a lot more, because then that's where the big wins come in. That's where the 16K wins come in, the 19.6K wins, and the 17K wins, compared to having a super, super, super tight stop loss and almost guessing and gambling in that sense to, oh, is price going to go in my direction? Oh, it did. Cool. We can make a cool YouTube video about it. Instead, I actually want to be able to show you guys the journey of, okay, this is our thought process right now. This is how we're going to learn from it. This is going to be our approach. And that's exactly what our approach is going to be. So, apart from that, 100% could have waited. A lot of things I've been messing up with was waiting. And it's because I'm trying to force these trades instead of letting those A+ setups come to me. So I recommend everyone waits. Just simply wait for whatever confluence you need to see. And to be honest, if I'll say anything, my bias as a whole was incorrect. I did this demo trade. I was looking at it. I was like, okay, why would I have taken a sell? Well, we broke daily structure to the downside. Okay, weekly's bullish. Doesn't matter. We play off of daily moves, right? So daily, we broke structure to the downside. Okay. We ended up forming an order block. If I go on 1 hour time frame up here, we retraced into that order block, started chopping, filling orders for 1, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours. right, in this 1 hour order block before breaking structure back to the downside. Right there, we could have looked to essentially play the sell move, even if it was here, right? And then had our stops. This is how our swing trading position would have been. Had our stops somewhere in that area, targeted these lows here, or even some 4 hour lows for 4 hour draws or 1 hour draws of liquidity, even like here, right? And just play that entire move to the downside, following within price action. So I will say our bias then too was incorrect, and you know that's something that's very important to tell yourself and to be truthfully honest, because if you're not, you'll never learn from your mistakes. And now I understand my bias was incorrect. So instead of fully basing everything off of weekly, I should scale down to the daily time frames, even the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and see, okay, what is price action telling us? How, because these time frames are what affect weekly from closing how it does. Yes, higher time frame equals higher confluence, higher time frame, higher power, higher time frame holds higher power, but 1 hour, 4 hour daily, with how those price action move, how those time frame of price action moves affects how weekly closes. You know, if daily is bearish, weekly is going to close bearish. Forget what, you know, imbalances there are. Weekly is going to close bearish if daily is closing bearish, right? So that was just some stuff to take into account. But my approach, I'm going to be trading for me. I don't want to go into these markets and try to trade to impress. I'm good at what I do, and I would like to stay good at what I do and not force anything that's out of nature in that sense, right? So what I'm going to do for the weekend, I recommend everyone do this. If you had a bad weekend, go in and back test, go in and see what you need to work on. I was in my journal right here. You can't see it. I'm so sorry. We need to upgrade this camera quality. The thing is, if I buy a new MacBook, I don't even think the camera quality would be better. But I'm looking and I'm like, okay, what were we doing right before that we're not doing right now? Okay, larger SL, validating SL, longer hold, swing trading after hours. Our bias on this trade was incorrect. You know, we were hitting our TPs before, but now we're not. Why? Okay, let's look at what we were doing before. Our old trade entries, A+ setups, waiting, very, 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 very precise with our trades and our trade entries. We were waiting, right? Waiting for those A+ setups, even if it's waiting a week in order to take those trades. Trading a lot less, larger SL, less risk reward, but still large risk reward, typically with swing trading. And then we're often swing trading / intraday entries, right? But apart from that, and then I wrote, go back to what works. So I know what works for me. Figure out what works for you and execute on that. Don't be afraid to execute on that. If you see with what you're doing right now isn't working, go back to what was working for you. And if what isn't working for you right now isn't working, figure out what's working for you. Double down on what is working and exit and cut off whatever isn't working. I love you guys. I am going to post episode 3 of the Money Printer series tomorrow. But apart from that, go in, enjoy your weekend, prepare to kill the market on Monday, and figure out your highest probability days, trading days. And I love you guys, and I thank you for watching. Let's go get this bread. Yo. I had to add this part, because I was rewatching the video. I realized I didn't show the P&L. So there you go. That was P&L. Minus $4,739. Commission took $98. What? But yeah.